I've been rocking and testing these M20xBTs by Audio-Technica, and I recently tested the Kiwi Ears Divisions that are, in my opinion, a pretty good like general use style headphone with a lot of bass, and they're considered like a studio DJ monitor. They are in fact a little aggressive for me personally, but objectively those sound really good. But I went out and bought these, which I heard to have a really well balanced mix. And I heard true. Like, these are freaking sweet. So here's my honest and transparent consumer-friendly review. Bought these with my own money, although that doesn't change my opinion. Always honest and transparent. So for $79 retail, you are getting a really good package here. And I would still consider these a value or a budget pair of headphones in like materials, but they would be like top tier value budget in that sense, right? Like, these are really well made. These are made of very light materials. It's plastic, for, and I'll do some close-ups, but it's plastic for the ear cups and the ear cup arms, which is this part right here. It's aluminum for this adjustment area there. I like that they don't have that ratchet sound. I like that it's smooth. Very soft. This is like a fake leather, so to speak. But it feels good to the touch, and it's really, really, like really soft. Feels really good on you. And these are extremely, extremely lightweight at 216 grams or 7.6 ounces. That's almost less than half of a, it's almost a little bit more than half of a pound. Is the math right? You get what I'm saying. I'm on the fly. But you can wear these for hours without any discomfort or any type of like head fatigue or anything like that. And the compression on these is super, super minimal, but good enough to stay on. Like, they're not falling off at all when wearing. Jumping into the nerdy goodness, the M20xBTs are closed back with 40 millimeter drivers, and they have a frequency response of 5 to 32,000 hertz, which is wider range than typically offered, which is like the 20 to 20,000 kilohertz. Although that's kind of the max of what the human ear can hear. But however, this is perfect for audio engineers, for mixing and mastering audio. And they have a sensitivity of 100 decibels, an impedance of 36 ohms, and the built-in microphone, which is on the left cup or ear cup, is omnidirectional with a 42 or less, with negative 42 decibels of microphone sensitivity and frequency response of 50 to 20,000 hertz. Now, these are both wired and wireless capable, with Bluetooth 5.0 supporting codecs AAC and SBC with the transmission band of 20,000 to 20,000 hertz, which on paper, so I'm guessing that you can't get that full range that I listed earlier without using a wire, which you connect right there through the 3.5 millimeter port. But let's get into the fit and feel of these. These being extremely lightweight, I mentioned that earlier, you can really wear these all day with no issues. They fit completely over my ears and against my head. So, they provide a good like sound seal, mitigating any like sound leakage, right? Which is good because these don't have a sound, noise canceling or anything like that. And of course, that's gonna vary based on your head and ear shape, but they fit really well for me. And I like that the controls, the USB-C, the 3.5 millimeter, and the status light, and we'll get to that in a second, are all on the left-hand side. And that's good for me because it took a while to find the left and right ear cup indicators. Like, they're so small that I didn't notice it, on early inspection. Like, when I unboxed them and took them out, I didn't see it at all. And I noticed it later when reading the manual, but the controls are easy. There's 3 buttons, volume up and down, and then there's a multi-function button in the middle. And the headband, although it's thin and soft, due to how lightweight these are, whether they, that bears weight or not, and also my dreads, like I said in other videos, I can't give a full review of that. But what I will say is that it's never been a problem, for me, because these are like feathers on the head. And I love that there is vocal updates when using these. Like, the user experience is really big for me on this channel. And this one, like, every time you hit play or pause, right, it says play, pause. Or when you turn them on, there's a volume level is medium, right? And so for me, that's super useful and easy to use, whereas you don't have to like plug them in and kind of see where the battery level is. You know, it's going to tell you where it is. And there's a white status light on the side there. And you can see that. And for me, like, it's not a big deal. But basically, you know, it's telling you like when it's paired, it's connected, you know, it's playing, etc. The only thing I don't like about that is that it is a pretty bright white light and it blinks when in use, which is, again, for me, it's fine. But when you're in a dark room and it keeps lighting up the like left side of you, you know, and lighting up that side of the room. So like, you know, at night I'll listen to headphones when I test these, and my wife might be asleep in bed, and so it's like blinking on her side of the bed, like right in her eyes. But that's not a normal circumstance, right? So for me, it's not a big deal, but I wanted to let you know that that was there, and I got used to it pretty quickly. But that could bother some folks, right? But enough of all of that. Let's get into the sound. These sound freaking amazing, and that's the short of it. I was immediately surprised at how good these sound. Even at max volume, these sound like balanced and really well tuned. I keep listening to like Worry by Jack Garrett with and all the dynamics in his voice, the music and the chorus. These really shine, and the sound is, I would say, like smooth and slightly warm. These have a very nice low signature that is, it's clean, like it's well controlled in my opinion. The mids are nice and present, you know, and present, like, you know, because sometimes like you just don't hear mids at all. So these are pretty present in you know, instrumentation, representation, and vocals are pretty spot on, and the vocals sit on top of the mix. Like, that's one thing about the Kiwi ears, is that there was so much bass in those, and I can do a direct comparison. Those don't sound bad at all, but there's so much bass in those that sometimes they would cover up the vocals, whereas you can always hear really good vocals on this one, even at max volume. And so I love that. And these are just really well balanced and enjoyable to use. I mean, I heard these and put those, you know, I heard these and I put these through the ringer, listening to songs in all types of genres. For instance, like Too Bad by Nickelback. I don't know why do people hate Nickelback? Put that in the comment section, why people hate Nickelback. But anyway, in the song Too Bad, you can hear the synth, like at the beginning of the song, kind of come in the left. And then, you know, as the other instruments are like introduced, like the drums, the guitar, in both ears, you still hear that synth over there. And then there's another like guitar lick that kind of comes in on the right-hand side while the vocals are still sitting there in the middle. And this continues on, you know, while more instruments are brought into the song until the chorus, and both ears are filled with songs. And at the ending, when the guitar solo, like when that comes on, like that is freaking epic in these. So these surprised me a lot. They sound really good. So, you know, let's get a sound test. This isn't scientific, right? Or it's not one-to-one due to compression and not having the appropriate gear to record these. But here we go. So in conclusion, like for less than $100, these I think are a steal. And these are super, I've said this all throughout the video, these are super well blended. These are what I expected the Kiwi Ears division to sound like, because those are considered DJ monitor, you know, type headphones, but those have aggressive bass. And these have nice controlled bass where it's punchy with a little character to it, but it doesn't get out of hand. And to keep things interesting, and you know, these have really great vocals and instrumentation representation, and there still is a really nice sub bass to these, but for some people they may want a little bit more, as the bass is punchy, really well controlled, and it doesn't have that, like I would always say, like gym headphone sound, right? It's not just you know, in your head. So some people may want more, but they sound really nice. And of course that will come down to preference. but I highly recommend these. Highly recommend these. I get a chance to test, like really test out a lot of headphones. And when I listen to these really popped, really caught my attention from the very first time, through to this review. Like, I love these. And that, if that's a bias because I like more subdued bass, then, that I want to make sure that you're aware of that. The Kiwi ears, like I said, they sound great. They're super punchy, super bass heavy. So if you're a bass head, you're going to love those. These are more well mixed. So I love these. Let me know any questions you may have. And if you enjoyed today's video and you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button below and join the Cozy Coalition. But as always, stay cozy in that crazy world, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.